Good morning, student. So you have seen my first video, and I must assure you that my first video is very informative. So this one is also very informative for you. So in this video, I am going to describe you about FDDI. So you may heard about this topic from your senior and other sources. So FDDI is Fiber Distributed Data Interface. So it is another ring-based network, and unlike token ring is implemented without hubs, although we can use devices called concentrate to perform a similar function. FDDI uses fiber optic cable to implement very fast, reliable network. FDDI is a high performance fiber optic token ring LAN running at 100 Mbps over distance up to 200 km with up to 1000 stations connected. It can be used in the same way as any of the other LANs, but with its high bandwidth. Another common use is a backbone to connect copper LANs. The high speed and high capacity of FDDI enables it to function as a very reliable backbone to connect large number of LANs. And FDDI use multi-mode fibers because the additional expense of single mode fiber is not needed for network running at only 1000 Mbps. It also uses LEDs rather than lasers. So we have discussed already in the fiber optic cables also. So in this fiber optic cable, we have seen about the fiber optics. So in this FDDI also we use the features of fiber optics. The FDDI cabling consists of two fibers rings, one transmitting clockwise and other transmitting anti-clockwise. So if either one break, the another one be used as a backup. If both break at the same time, for example due to fire or accidental, then we join into a large ring approximately as long as we can. Each station contains relays that can be used as. So we have seen FDDI consists of token rings also. So in FDDI uses an even more sophisticated method of accessing the networks than does token ring. Like token ring, a token is passed around the ring and the possessor of the token is allowed to transmit FDDI frames. Unlike token ring, FDDI network may have several frames simultaneously circulating on the network. This is possible because the possessor of the token may send multiple frames without waiting for the first frame to circulate all the way around the ring before sending the next frame. So the processor of the possessor, not the processor. The possessor of the FDDI token is also allowed to release the token and send it to the next station in the ring as soon as it is through transmitting frames. So in the FDDI we have seen that FDDI also have a priority algorithm similar to 802.5. It determines which priority classes may transmit on a given token pass. If the token is ahead of a schedule, all priorities may transmit it. Bill of it is behind schedule. Only the highest one may send. With FDDI, a station must have a token before it can transmit frames. The size of FDDI frames can be between 17 and 4500 bytes. So stations on the network read the messages that travel around the ring from network interface. You are aware with the network interface card. We also network interface card is also known as NIC. When a station reads a frame that matches its address, it copies the frame and creates an acknowledgement frame. Then it transfers the token to the next attached network node. FDDI uses the primary ring to move data and the second ring to provide system fault tolerance and backup. The two Mbps rotate in opposite direction, so they are called dual counter rotating rings. The second ring is inactive until it is needed. Devices such as workstations, breezes and routers can be attached to the rings. There are two types of station, class A, class B. Class A stations are also called dual attached stations because they can be attached to both rings at the same time, and class B stations are known as single attached station because they are attached to only one ring. Class B workstations are not as fault tolerant as class A workstation because they cannot use wrapping. So what do you mean by the wrapping? Wrapping is the system fault tolerance features that takes effect when a break occurs on one or both the rings. When a break occurs in a ring, the first step is the identification of a failure domain, the area affected by the break that cannot carry data.